Hello students and welcome back for this geography video session. In today's session, we are going to discuss and understand about more new aspects of topographical maps, and also we are going to solve a few questions based on it. So let's have a small recap. You have already learnt about the contour lines, which is the main feature of the topographical map, which is always shown in brown color. Contour line is an imaginary line that connects all points having the same height above mean sea level. Then every fifth dark or bold contour line that is known as index contour. Then the distance between two contour, that is also known as the vertical interval or contour interval. Then the steep slope and the gentle slope, the lines which are contour lines which are close together, that are steep, and which are far, that is gentle slope. The next we have discussed about the grid square, the arbitrary network of the red lines, the lines which are drawn vertically known as eastings and horizontally known as northings, that is called grid square. This grid square helps us to understand or to find out the 4 or 6 grid reference of any man-made feature or natural feature in the topo sheet. Then we discussed about the different kinds of settlement pattern, that is nucleated, linear and disperse, and even the mode of transport of that region, either it is urban area or rural area. And yes, the important feature or the important aspect of the whole topographical maps, that is colors and signs and symbols. Without colors and sign and symbols, no map can be interpreted. We have also discussed about the identification of simple landforms with the help of the contour lines such as mountains, valley, plateau, hill, ridge, saddle, cliff, waterfall, V-shaped valley, U-shaped valley, col, pass, gaps and many more. Now let's discuss that how to solve the questions in the topo sheet. And yes, we should not forget that a topographic sheet is usually interpreted under the following heads, which we have already learned. That is the marginal information, which includes the sheet number, scale, location, and grid references. Then direction on the map, the eastings and the northings and grid square. Then 4-figure and 6-figure grid reference, legend and keys, contour interval and contour index, spot heights, triangulated stations. So all these are very, very important aspects of the topo sheet.
So let's understand what is called topo sheet number. Topo sheet numbers can give an idea as to which part of India is shown on the map. Topo sheet number, that is 45D7 and 45D10, depicts the states of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Each sheet has a number printed on it and which is always found on the top of the sheet. So the topo sheet extract you see here is part of the topo sheet number, that is 45D7. So whenever it is asked in the exam that write down the topo sheet number which is which is shared in the question paper. So always you have to find on the top of the sheet. This number refers to a specific geographical area of the country. So sheet 45D7 here have parts of Kanha and Sirohi. These are the districts of Gujarat and Rajasthan respectively. The next aspect that is very, very important, scale. So already you have learnt about the scale, that is map scale. A scale is the ratio of distance between two places on a map to the actual distance between the same two places on the ground. And this map scale is always represented in three different ways. And that is the verbal or statement scale, graphical or linear scale, and the representative fraction, that is RF. So the scale of the sheet is found always at the bottom. The scale that is not the same for all the maps. There are some maps that show a scale of 1 is to 10, 20 or maybe ahead. The map 45D 7 has a scale of 1 is to 50,000. This means that if you measure 1 centimeter on the map, that is actually correspond to 50,000 centimeter on the ground. In other words, we can say that the scale of this map is 2 centimeter is to 1 kilometer, which implies that every 2 centimeter on the map, which corresponds to 1 kilometer on the ground. Yes. As you know that the grid, that is the topographical maps have grid lines always in red color and which help us to locate the places very easily on the topo sheet. So these red lines, horizontal and vertical means eastings and the northings. And if you measure each grid square on the topo sheet, that is 2 centimeter. On actual ground, we have to remember that each grid, that is 1 kilometer, is to 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer, or the area of each grid square, that is 1 square kilometer. So here in the slide you can see that. Now let's understand about the direction on map. That is the top half of a topographical map, that is always given in the north. The bottom half, that is in the south, and your right hand is the east and your left hand, that is the west. One more important thing, that for any calculation or for any measurement of the length of the river or direction, we have to find from the southwest corner, that is from where the eastings and the northings are red. So generally in exam the question is asked about the direction of the river, and very easily you can find out and you can write the answer. Now, as I have already told you about the eastings and the northings, they are always given the numerical values. Eastings, they are from left to right or from west to east, increasing numerical values, and northing, they are from bottom to upwards. So this map extract shows a region between eastings, that is 91. Here, if you can see that this is the 91, right? So this is the first sting. We are always reading from southwest corner. So 91 to 00. So here this is 91, and again after 99 it comes 00, though it is not mentioned. So here you can understand the stings on the map sheet. One thing I would like to share with you, that in the whole video session, I have used only one map extract, that is 45D7. Now let's find out the northings numerical values on this map. So this map extract shows a region between eastings, that is 91 to 00, and northings, that is 77 to 88. So here I'll show you that 77. Can you see this 77 to 88? So let's find out the 88. And these are very important numbers on the map. So this is 77, right? And this is 88, right? So northings, these are the horizontal lines. So from the bottom 77 it starts and it ends over here, that is 88. Already we have understood about the 4-figure and 6-figure grid square. So in this map extract, let's find out for the 4-figure grid for two places, that is Joval and Rampura. These are the two villages shown on this map. So 9282, that is the 4-figure grid square for Joval. Here you can see, right? So always we take the eastings first in the 4 and 6 grid, and then we take the northings, right? And for Rampura, that is the 9580. Okay, so here this is the Rampura village. Even you can find out a temple that is located near the Rampura. So generally the question is asked in the exam, that find out the 4-figure or 6-figure grid for Joval or then Chekhla or Rampura, or it can be asked that find out the 6-figure grid for temple which is located near the Rampura village. And yes, 4-figure grid, so we have to take eastings first and then northings, and in 6-figure we have to divide that one grid into 10 parts, horizontal and vertical, and in this way we can find out the 6 grid for this temple also. Legend and keys. Legends contain conventional signs and symbols in the form of keys. Before you proceed to interpret the map, familiarize yourself with these signs and symbols, which helps you to interpret the map more accurately, precisely, and specifically on the survey sheet. It infers the required information about each and every relief feature, then drainage patterns, land use, occupations, transports, kind of settlements, etc. They also provide all the vital and important information which is required to enable the reader to interpret the map correctly. So here the key or the legend is always mentioned or printed at the bottom of the topo sheet. So each and every conventional sign and symbol with the color has to be revised and practiced properly. Now the contour interval that all of us know, that is 20 meter, means the vertical distance between two consecutive contour lines, that is 20 meter. So here you can see that. It is also known as the vertical interval, means V dot I. In short form, it is written in the topo sheets. And in all topo sheets of the scale of 1 is to 50,000, this vertical interval is always constant. So here you can find out the two consecutive contour lines, 200 meter and then 400. So the distance, that is 20 meter between two, that is uniform or constant. Spot heights. This indicate the actual elevation of a spot above mean sea level. Spot heights on a topo sheet are shown by a small black dot with a number indicating its height. These are a number of spot heights shown on this map. For example, 522, which is located in grid reference 4 grid, that is 9284, and 6 grid, that is 927848, which is on the northwest corner of the map, is one such spot height. So let's find out. This is the 522. This is the spot height which is located over here in the northwest of the topo sheet, right? Another important indicator of the topo sheets which always shown the heights, that is triangulated station. A triangulated station is also a specific spot on a topo sheet and that indicates the height of that place. And always this heighted or elevated stations or places or spots, they are called as stations, and it is always located in the highest region of that area. It is indicated on the map with a small triangle, if you see, with a small triangle followed by the number. There are a number of triangulated stations on this map, such as, let's find out the triangulated station 217 or 217, which is given in the grid 944 grid, that is 9479, or 6 grid, that is 940792. So here we will find out the 297, and if you see the triangle that is given, so it is over here, right? So in this way the triangulated stations has to be identified on the topo sheet very easily. The next, that is the contour index. We have already seen the contour index. The every fifth contour line which is bolder or thick, dark, that is contour index, and very easily that can be identified on the topo sheet. So here on this map extract, the contour bold line, that is 400, right? Every fifth. So here you can count also after 1 2 3 4 and the next bold line. So in this map in grid square 9782, the contour index, that is 400, which is clearly shown. So in this way the every fifth bold line is known as the contour index. What is DEP? DEP is the short form or abbreviation which is used for the depression, and it is always clearly mentioned on the topo sheet. Now on this map there are several places with letters DEP encircled within a contour line, and as I told you, This letter indicates or stands for the natural feature, that is depression. Depression, which indicates land in this area, that is always lower level than the surrounding area. So on this map, you can find out the DEP. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are many places where we find the depressions on this extract. Now, generally in the exam, the question is asked that which rivers are shown in this district or on this topo sheet. So here, the main water body that flows right across the map, that is the Banas River. Here you can see the Banas River and its tributary, that is Balram Nadi. So in this way, it can be identified very easily. And also the direction of the Banas River or the Balram Nadi is asked. So from northeast to south or northwest we can indicate, right? The another aspects or natural feature on the topo sheet, that is dry and wet streams. On the map there are streams, you can see they are given in black color, and others which have water, that is blue in color. The black streams are dry and have no water. That is the reason black color is used for them. So they are generally found in dry regions. So while the blue streams, including the Banas River and the Balram Nadi, which I have already showed you in the previous slide, they are shown in blue color. But the dry streams, they are always shown in the black color. So here you can see many disappearing streams, right? Or in this dry region, the dry and wet streams are shown. There are several types of contour features in the map as well. In grid square 9185, we can find out steep slope or escarpment. And even 9785, there is a saddle, if you see. In grid square 99777, there is a ridge or a watershed. As we know that a ridge is a long and narrow elevation that has steep slopes on either side and stands out from the surrounding lowlands. It also acts as a watershed to rivers that flow down narrow valleys on both of the sides. Now, uh, if you find over here the three dominant colors, as all of us know, that is green, yellow, and white. The green portion, if you see here on the topo sheet, that indicates the forested area. That forested area include the dense jungle, open jungle, right? And another, that is the yellow color, which indicates the cultivating land, right? Means here we can find the fertile soil or the crops are grown over here. Agricultural activity takes place very nicely in this region. And another, that is the white patches. Wherever we have the white color or white patches, it indicates the barren land. So here you can see that. Now let's understand about the modes of the transport, as already we have understood, that is footpath, car track, and pack tracks. So now all the settlements on the map, they are connected by cart track, which is always shown using the red straight line. So from one settlement to another settlement, means kacha road, kacha rasta, or unmetalled road. And the broken red lines, if you find over here, the broken red line that indicates the pack track, means from one settlement, that is Juvol to Chekla. So in this way, the transport modes can be easily identified on the topo sheet. Now already we have discussed about the settlement patterns in the previous lecture, that is nucleated, scattered, and linear. So on this map, the pattern of 9580 is that nucleated or clustered or compact, means grouped together. So here you can see that. Then the another one, that is the scattered, means that is not a group together. They are far from each other. So here you can see the scattered settlement. And yes, that is always shown by the red color squared, right? So grouped together, that is the clustered or compact or the nucleated. Scattered, that is the dispersed settlement, right? And yes, a single square, when it is shown, that is the single hut, we can say. It is found on this map extract in the four grid, that is 9886. And when the question is asked in the exam that which is the largest settlement in this map shown, then yes, the answer is the Karja. So clearly you have, it is seen, you have to neatly observe the map and find out the answers properly. Students, regular practice for interpretation of topo sheets and to score good marks in exam in this topo questions, you should understand, rather you have to practice one important thing, that map interpretation involves the study of factors and that explain the causal relationships among several features shown on the map. For example, suppose the distribution of natural vegetation or the cultivated land can be better understood against the background of that landform or the drainage pattern. For example, any river which is always, that is a perennial river, right, means proper soil, fertile soil is available, and the agriculture activity takes place properly in that region, right? But the vice versa, if it is a forested area or it is desert region, so you know that the black color lines which are used to show the dry drainage patterns. Likewise, the distribution of settlements that can be examined in association with the levels of transport network system and the nature of topography. If you find the railway tracks are there or proper developed transport modes are shown, means that is the developed region in that map. And suppose the car tracks or kacha unmetalled road are shown, disappearing streams are there, then that indicates that region is not that much developed physically also, and with the help of the uh, other aspects also. Now the important steps that are what you are supposed to do, that find out from the index number of the topographical sheet, then the location of that area in the country, then that will give you an idea of the general characteristics of the major and minor physiographic divisions of that area. One important thing you have to note, that the scale of the map and the contour interval, which always give the extent and general landform of the area. So here this session, I would like to wind up stating one statement, that regular practice is very important for topo sheet. Till then, thank you.